Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a bunch of DC updates for you today, but before we get into that, I have to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much to Geek Haven Jan 86. Thank you for joining as a member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. And I also have to thank all the members as well. Like I said, we're almost there. Almost there to get to that 100-member point where we will definitely have that random prize drawing for the Man of Steel Blu-ray 3D Steel Tin Can. And of course, thank you to all the subscribers as well for tuning in daily. Once we get to that 20,000 subscriber mark, another random prize drawing is going to go out. So I can't wait to choose that prize for when that happens. All right, now on to the news. The first topic of the day is that Warner Brothers marketing chief J.P. Richards exits studio. This is coming from Variety. Apparently, because of the Warner Media situation and the restructuring of the studio, they are laying off a bunch of people, about 5 to 7% of the workforce, right? And Jason Kilar had put out a memo, and I even reported about it, but this is the first of probably one of the major people that are exiting the studio. And I gotta say, the comments below this and the retweets from this are showing that people are happy with this, right? Because he probably didn't do so well. I mean, granted, he's got some great ones that went out, in terms of marketing for Joker and some other things, but there were quite a bit of blockbuster movies that were supposed to be blockbuster movies, and maybe the marketing didn't do so well enough to generate hype and interest. For instance, Godzilla King of the Monsters, big property, big IP. It didn't make big box office money. Pokemon Pokemon is a giant IP. Did as much around as Godzilla King of the Monsters. Shazam, Birds of Prey. I can go on and on. But it seems like, maybe we need a fresh new face within Warner Brothers in terms of marketing, as a lot of people has agreed that the marketing hasn't been that great. So maybe this time, with new fresh blood coming into Warner Brothers, maybe a new marketing person, we could actually turn it around and get a lot more hyped, especially for DC properties. So you really have to make a change once in a while. All right, next is TV, or essentially HBO Max, actually. Titan Season 3, there are some updates. This is coming from Bleeding Cool. In case you missed it, DC Titans Boris Majzowski, just the director, shared the forest location where filming on Season 3, 5th episode is happening. Also a new Robin? Well, this is coming from Boris himself. He says this, and he showed this clapperboard here. Here we go again. Started my directorial episodes with the day in the glorious forest of southern Ontario. The crew made the impossible seem reasonably yet again. There were lights and cameras everywhere. As always, I learned a ton from Shelton 9mm, and I'm super impressed with my man Stovall action design. I also found a new Robin candidate again. So apparently they don't have a new Robin yet. They don't have Tim Drake yet. They found another candidate. They're still going through the motions as they're shooting on location, shooting episodes. They haven't found their actual Robin yet. Well, that's interesting. I guess we won't really know until they're gonna get ready to shoot those episodes, or they're really going through that whole process. So unclear of who that will be, but it also entails here that the third season of HBO Max's Titans will see some serious changes for the series, aside from Kieran Walter's turn as Jason Red Hood Todd, with action shifting to Gotham and Dr. Jonathan Crane and Scarecrow and Commissioner Barbara Gordon entering the scene. Of course, there's also that matter of a certain dead Titan making a return. Executive producer Greg Walker wants to dig into the backstory of how Donna Troy, played by Connor Leslie, returns this season, and what that means in regards to an afterlife and its spiritual connections. He said this: "It's true, but there are ways we can kind of skirt some of the normal life and death rules for those of us that are kind of more human bound. We've got some exciting opportunities and stories ahead for Donna Troy and Rachel and the whole underworld we've made. We'll go into what it's like as a transition stage, Tease Walker. As for how Donna could potentially return, Walker offered a response that fans on social media have been hinting about for months. Here, you guessed it, DC Comics loves the Lazarus Pit. Yeah, I mean, you can bring back anybody at that point. Walker teased, I have no comment about that. As for the impact her electrocution will have on her life moving forward, Walker says that an aspect of her story that they will absolutely explore. Yeah, electrocution. I still never liked how she went that way. I mean, come on, electrocution. It's just as bad as, Thor getting zapped by electrocution in Thor Ragnarok. You know what I mean? So, but she's coming back. I mean, this was just a very, kind of just a little, her being dead for just a little while, but then she's definitely coming back for season 3. So I love her, and I hope to see her back, and she is definitely going to come back. So I'm wondering how that's going to come out, right? All right, the next show that is being in the process of being made is Peacemaker. Now, James Gunn has already started Peacemaker, writing for it, and they will start production January, right? So but there's only John Cena as Peacemaker and Steve Agee also in there as well. Is there anybody else that's joining the cast? Well, now it's been reported today, multiple stars board HBO Max's Peacemaker. This is coming from The Hollywood Reporter. HBO Max's Peacemaker cast Daniel Brooks, Robert Patrick, Jennifer Holland, and Chris Conrad. James Gunn will direct several episodes of his The Suicide Squad spinoff. HBO Max's Peacemaker is assembling its squad. The spinoff to James Gunn's Warner Brothers DC movie, The Suicide Squad, has added Danielle Brooks, Robert Patrick, Jennifer Holland, and Chris Conrad to the call sheet. Brooks, known for her work on Orange is the New Black, will star as Leota Adebayo, while Patrick, best known for playing the T-1000 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, is boarding the project as Augie Smith. Holland, who appeared in the Gunn-produced Brightburn, will reprise her The Suicide Squad role of Amelia Harcourt, while Conrad, known for his work on Epic's Perpetual Grace Limited, joins as Vigilante or Adrian Chase. So those are the new stars, and they will start, production, like I said, in early 2021. They also said that Steve Agee also stars as John Economos. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I think they just mentioned that he was going to be on there, but now you know who he's going to be. So this is shaping up to be quite interesting, and more content for HBO Max, more DC content for HBO Max. I think we're going to start hearing a lot more content coming out of HBO Max and DC properties in this thing, especially with the COVID situation. Spikes. There's large spikes all over the country. It's really bad in the United States of America, and even in Hawaii as well. So it looks like they're putting a lot more emphasis on HBO Max, like Jason Kilar had said in his memo to everybody at Warner Media. He's telling everybody that our focus is on HBO Max right now. So get those projects lined up, and I think he's really encouraging that at the moment. So be on the lookout for more HBO Max things that are coming out in terms of DC as well. All right, now let's get to the movies. There's not much movie news per se, but Screen Rant picked up quite a big petition that's coming out, but petition to remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2. This is coming from Screen Rant. Apparently, there are over 900,000 signatures to remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2 due to Johnny Depp being removed from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And so this actually got it, the Amber Heard crowd a little bit stronger, and they put together a petition to get over 900,000 signatures to be signed. So we'll see what happens, what the studio will do in terms of this. Not sure. but it did kind of got Boss Logic inspired in a way to actually put a fan cast of Emilia Clarke as Mara instead. And I gotta say, just looking at this picture here, he did a really good job, and she does absolutely look like Mara. And it would be kind of interesting to have her back in, or not back in, but as the role of Mara, and alongside Khal Drogo. I mean, Aquaman. Interesting how that would work out if that was true. But we'll have to wait and see if Amber Heard gets removed. Amber Heard, however, will be in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I talked about the Darkseid picture that is on the AFSP charity shirt, which you should definitely check out. You should definitely get one. It has a line from the actual movie, Darkseid's actual line. Right? All of existence shall be mine, which is very threatening. But be sure to check that shirt out. And of course, I love it in white, by the way, because if I wear black here, my face just lights up like a Christmas tree. So I definitely need a white shirt. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to wear it on the show. But the artist Alex Pardee actually did a speed drawing of that design, and he shared it on Twitter today from start to finish. I'm just going to show it here, but I'm going to turn the music off because it may be copyright. From start to finish, my process of creating the Darkseid illustration for Zack Snyder and Ink to the People, music by Junkie XL. Get the shirt here. All proceeds go towards the Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Of course, it's right there. He even hashtagged Zack Snyder's Justice League. What an incredible artist. Look at him draw. I wish I could draw like at all. Like me, it's just stick figures. Seriously. But this is an amazing video. Now, you can't hear it, but the music that is coming down here, and he says it states below, the music track is actually a combined track from both Junkie XL and High Finesse. When you, and I'm going to link this in the description below so you can hear it yourself, but you've probably already heard this song before, this music track here. This music track was in the original 2017 Justice League trailer. It was a Comic-Con sneak peek. That was around the time I think Zack Snyder was still around, or at least right after he left. They utilized that trailer has this track in it. So that was one of the kind of discussions we had back then where we were wondering if that was a Junkie track or not. I don't know if you were. I did. And now it's been confirmed that not only has Junkie's track in there, but it was also a combined track, but that it may have been utilized and may even be in Zack Snyder's Justice League unless he's changed some things around. So if you go back to here, or watch this video instead, or if you look up Justice League Comic-Con sneak peek, you will hear that Junkie XL track, and think about whether or not it's going to be used in the movie or not. It's okay to speculate. I think it's an actually fun thing, an exciting thing. Zack Snyder even said it himself. He is allowing us in a way, or not. He's not allowing. He's not going to stop us from speculating and getting excited and hyping things and having theories. I don't know. Maybe that's why he watched my videos of tinfoil all those times. He likes when people get hyped up and think about what's going to happen and what's going to happen in his movies and things like that. And I think that's a great positive conversation and speculation and discussions to have. That's why I kind of like to do them as well. But speaking of speculation and discussions, he does kind of not, I guess you could say reignite from yesterday, but ignite further discussion of possible Batman and Catwoman story. Now, yesterday I talked about the video on my video that Carlo Gugino would have been his pick for Catwoman, or at least he likes that suggestion from the League of Mayhem girls, and I don't know if he's actually hinting at this possibly actually happening within his Snyderverse sometime, or even in Justice League, or a Batman, the Batman Ben Affleck series or movie. But he posted this today, Zack Snyder himself, shared this image of a Jim Lee drawing that shows Batman and Catwoman, and you can kind of see Joker in here as well. So, feel free, what he's trying to say, feel free to speculate, discuss, hype, wonder if this is ever a possibility, right? So I even said this. Zack Snyder just shared this Jim Lee Batman and Catwoman art, but all I see is Ben Affleck and Carla Gugino now. Why? Well, we can't help it, because even DC Verso shared some 2 fan arts imagining Carla Gugino and Selena Kyle alongside Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne. Perfection. It's perfect. Now I can't get that out of my head. Now I'm like, I want to see that. I want to see that Selena Kyle with that Bruce Wayne. It's a match made in heaven, I would say. And I don't know how we would explore that at all, if that's ever going to be explored. Or you, Zach, you're just trolling at this point? I don't know. But if it were to happen, and he could possibly explore in the future, and if Ben Affleck's okay to come back for more, which I think he is starting to lean towards it more, according to Dave the Film Junkie, this could happen. We could essentially have this. He could be processing, actually building more stories in his head, specifically for his HBO Max Snyderverse, a continuation, if you will. He's already planned Justice League 2. Maybe he's talked Ben Affleck into returning into some fashion that's further past the Justice League. I don't know how. Or even in the Ben Affleck Batman movie. He said that they were married, right? Like his thought process of how it would go, would that be Batman and Catwoman, Selena, well, of course, had married and divorced prior to BVS, even losing his adopted son, Dick Grayson. That drove Batman to be the Batman he was in Batman v Superman. Everything just went wrong. And so he could definitely think about exploring this, whether in a flashback like he mentioned on the League of Mayhem show, or perhaps included in some fashion in Ben Affleck's movie or series, or in Justice League, or beyond that. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities here, and I think he's really happy that we're excitedly talking about it, speculating about it, discussing it, and, in a way, almost making it come true. That's exciting in itself. I'm really all for it. Like, not only restore the Snyderverse, but maybe expand the Snyderverse as well. If you really want to, Zach, but maybe you do. Maybe you have a lot of ideas in your mind and you're like, that was a good one. Let's explore it some more. and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I want to be along for the ride as well. And I think you guys are as well. Now we're in that segment where I read the Ping Pong Flix members and comments from the last video, or at least the current ones in any case, on air on this video. So if you want me to read your question or comment, please join as a member down below. That's just one of the perks in any way. All right, so let's start with this one. I hack fruit. Could Zack talking about his Catwoman casting choice relate to the character possibly being locked up in Arkham Asylum during Ben Affleck's solo Batman film? I can imagine Catwoman helping Batman out when fighting through his rogues gallery and end up with Batman letting her escape. Do you think Zack revealing this suggests that Affleck's film or miniseries is going to be made? I like that. I don't know if it suggests that it could be made, but I think it suggests that there could be further story that could develop, right? There's a lot more things that could be explored within Affleck's history. We've seen him at the end of his run. We can, start to see what was during his run, and I think we could explore that a little bit, and I think Zack would love to explore that. Would it be in the Arkham Asylum? That'd be pretty cool. I would love to definitely see that. That would be pretty awesome. Unless Ben Affleck's solo Batman is going to be a present day, then he's already divorced from her, and she's off internationally trying to steal stuff, antiquities and things like that. but we could definitely have flashbacks within that solo Batman film. I think he has a lot of demons that he has to go through in his own solo story, right? And one of those demons could be his relationship and the dismantling of that relationship with Selena Kyle. So I like that. I like that we could go into a little bit further in that. Jonathan Mueller, hi Chris, what do you think about the Snyder Cut being all uncompromised now? I mean, I think that the thing that concerns fans the most is if Zack Snyder can truly and honestly say that his Snyder Cut now is his vision 100%. If it is his film 100%. I wonder if Warner Media gave Zack the same liberty James Gunn won from Warner Brothers if they let him just go nuts. That is what I wanted to hear. Plus, has Warner Bros. Still able to influence Zack Snyder's artistic choices somehow, or is it all over Warner Media now? Of course, they wouldn't commit the same mistake again, I guess, but if they let Zack went nuts, it could mean they could make an actual black suit for Superman, perhaps for Justice League 2, for instance, and that could be really huge. Plus, do you think Justice League 1, 2, and 3 will become Justice League 1 and 2 4-hour miniseries, or could it be a 3-season, 4-hour miniseries? And I don't think Zack Snyder would reveal his Catwoman all of a sudden for nothing. Do you think she can appear in the Snyder Cut? And Zack Snyder's Justice League will be much longer, 4 hours. It means me think that the battle against the Steppenwolf will be much longer. I mean, in terms of story, do you think that Steppenwolf's invasion is an event that could last for months, or a thing that could be solved fast like a 2-day event? Wow. All right. So I 100% think they're not gonna change his. This is 100% uncompromised, 100%. Whether or not he is keeping some things that he thought of back then. I mean, it's been like almost 4 years now. He may do some liberties on his own vision that says like, but that maybe I want to do this thing differently. Maybe I don't know, but 100%. It's going to be his decision. It's going to be his mini series, aka movie, and no one's going to influence him. I don't. They're definitely not going to do that now. Justice League 2, that's still a possibility. Nothing's been confirmed yet. I mean, I feel like they're putting so much money investment to this to be just one and done doesn't make sense. I think it's going to be more than a one and done. So I'm hoping and believe that he could definitely go on further with that. So, like I said, if he could, they could actually make a black suit Superman. They could possibly do that. Maybe they already did. We don't actually know. But definitely 100% uncompromised. It will be Zack's vision. I know I did talk a little bit about the Catwoman stuff, so I'll skip that. But yeah, having Zack Snyder's Justice League be longer could definitely mean we're going to get a lot more scenes that were longer. And I'm thinking that third act is going to be longer. It's going to be a worn out fight in my mind. And I imagine it's going to be like part 2 of Seven Samurai. And that one was long. There was a lot of big moments, heroic moments, a lot of battling and things like that. And I definitely think it's going to be much more substantial. If you watch Man of Steel, for instance, that was a substantial third act. Batman v Superman, substantial third act. It never let up, really. It went from Batman fighting Superman to Batman warehouse scene to Superman and Doomsday to Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman versus Doomsday. It was epic, hypnotic. It was awesome. So I'm going to say Steppenwolf's battle is just going to be as long, maybe even longer. So that's what I'm thinking in any case. But yeah, thank you so much for your comment and question. Carla Gugino is meh. Well, not everybody has to agree. Maybe I won't heart that. But yeah, I mean, that's your opinion, and I respect that. Danny Gray, I see that tea now exists. It shall be mine. I love it. I love it. And it shall be everyone's if everybody would want it. Jeffrey Mock, Chris, I would love to get your opinion on how Martian Manhunter ultimately reveals himself and joins forces with Batman and the rest of the Justice League. I heard that he doesn't, and that's saved for like Justice League 2, but I would happily be wrong because that would be pretty awesome for him to join the fight. In fact, that would also make sense if he joins the fight because there are supposed to be 7 of them, unless Green Lantern joins the fight, because right now it's only 6, right? And either need Martian Manhunter and or or Green Lantern in order to make it 7. So if he joins the fight, I think that would be great. From what I know from the original 214, that's not the case. He doesn't join. But in this new version that Zack's making, which is 4 hours long, that'd be pretty awesome and could be easy. Maybe, especially Zack Snyder, might not be that hard to throw him into the mix, but we'll see what happens. But I'm really curious to see how that third act's going to turn out. Geek Haven Jan 86, our newest member. Chris, thank you so much for covering everything DC Comics. I've come to rely on you for everything and anything DC. Something that has been bothering me and driving me quite nuts is the status quo of continuity in the Snyderverse. What exactly does it entail? Snyder recently said his trilogy of movies, Man of Steel, BVS, Zack Snyder's Justice League, are their own continuity and don't acknowledge anything else. However, the opening and closing segments of Wonder Woman 2017 would say otherwise, since it clearly references Bruce Wayne and the photo taken from Lex Luthor's hard drive. Also, with the news that Jared Leto is going to be in the Snyder Cut, wouldn't that be in itself be acknowledging bare minimum David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad? If you can clear this up in any way, shape, or form, that would be so much appreciated. Thanks for being here for us DC fans. Sure. Basically this, Zack Snyder is only worried about Man of Steel, BVS, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and whatever sequels come of that. That's because that's his story. That's his arc. Now, back when he was still at Warner Brothers and he was developing, executive producing all these other things, that's why he was able to get connections with, having connect to Patty Jenkins. Wonder Woman, they were trying to build a universe at that time. They were trying in ways to connect to this and that, and that's why during that time, that was important, that they could have that continuity within there. Of course, executives kept trying to change that and alter things. Even when Zack Snyder was still there, they were still trying to, change things around. So at that time, of course, you're going to see that connection. That's why Wonder Woman 2017, 2016 Suicide Squad had those connections. But things have changed. Now, he's over on HBO Max, Zack Snyder, and he's developing Zack Snyder's Justice League. At that point, Warner Brothers is kind of doing their own thing in that universe with, whatever's happening, Shazam and Birds of Prey. It's outside his responsibility is what he's trying to say. He's no longer being contacted or talking about what's happening at Warner Brothers. He is only, dealing with his own, what he calls the Snyderverse, which is essentially what he created, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and now fully responsible for Zack Snyder's Justice League over on HBO Max. If Warner Brothers, the theatrical, wants to in a way connect back to that, that's fine. He's like, if you guys want to do that, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. But this is my show, and I'm only responsible for this. Yes, at that time in 2016, in 2016, he was kind of shepherding all this other things. He was like, I could connect that way. I could do this and that. But now that that's gone, he's gone from that. He's only on HBO Max. That responsibility of trying to connect to future movies is gone. But you can yourself, if you want to, find ways to connect certain canons. It's just that it's not in his responsibility to do so. So that's how I hopefully I explained that in a good way or not. I don't know. But if you want me to explain further, I could definitely do that on my Saturday live chat. But thanks, Geek Haven, for that. Mr. Stokes, can you hear the train, Chris? It's called the Hype Train. No point of saying everyone on board because we already are. Destination? Zack Snyder's Justice League Season 2. To me, it's a no-brainer. Zack Snyder and HBO Max didn't just agree to a one-trick pony, and that will be the end. Definitely not. Zack will have his true vision come to fruition, and this is a perfect partnership between the both. What do you think, Chris? This is such a perfect time to be a DC fan. The coronavirus can suck on eggs because life in the Snyderverse is all good. Hashtag Stokes channel. Check out Stokes channel, by the way. I think he's got a review for Man of Steel. Yes, I definitely agree with you. I feel like it's coming. I think this is 100% vision, and I think it will be successful on HBO Max, and counting on all of us to make it successful on HBO Max. And when it does, I think it will breathe new life into its own little world on HBO Max, the Snyderverse universe over on HBO Max starting in 2021. So thank you so much for Mr. Stokes for that comment. And well, it's not more of a question, but I like what you're thinking. I like where your mind's at. All right. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content and movies, shows, and video games, please click the like button, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on. Grab a t-shirt from down in Teespring downstairs, and I'll see you next time.